good job at this, if I didn't think that I could do a really good job at this. My background is I've been an entrepreneur my entire life. I know you're not asking for my advice, but so it's worth what you're going to pay for it, which is nothing. And that is that whatever you do in your life, do what you enjoy. Get up every morning and enjoy what it is that you want to do. And then whatever it is that you want to do in your life, do it as an entrepreneur. Do it for yourself. And it'll be more rewarding than anything else that you could ever possibly do. So that's my bit of advice. So for me, I started working construction jobs when I was 17 years old, and I actually started a one-man handyman business in Albuquerque when I was a junior in college in 1974. And I actually grew that business to employ 1,000 people. Engineers, architects. I became the largest construction employer in the state of New Mexico. I sold that business in 1999. Nobody lost their job. They're doing better than ever, and it allows me to have a full-time, unpaid job running for President of the United States. I had never been involved in politics prior to running for governor of New Mexico. Completely outside the political system. I went and I introduced myself to John Latuzio, who was the chairman of the Republican Party in New Mexico, and what he said was, "Wow, I like you, Gary. I like what you've got to say. We're going to include you in all the debates and all the discussions. But you just need to know that you'll never get elected. That it's not possible to come from completely outside of politics and get elected governor in a state that's 2-to-1 Democrat." I got elected. I would like to think it was based on what I had to say, which was just, let's just bring a common sense business approach to state government. Let's just deal with the issues. Let's put politics aside, let's deal with the issues. And I got elected, and I made a name for myself vetoing legislation. I made a name for myself maybe vetoing more legislation than the other 49 governors in the country combined. I vetoed 750 bills. I had thousands of line item vetoes. And what that meant was that billions of dollars didn't get spent that would have gotten spent. What it meant was the legislature passed a whole bunch of laws that, in my opinion, were just going to add time and money to our lives, weren't going to make us any safer, weren't going to make us any more healthy. They passed legislation that, in my opinion, I might have been arrested and put behind bars for legislation that they were passing, and I didn't want to sign that legislation. I think what's really significant is in a state that's 2-to-1 Democrat, I got reelected by a bigger margin the second time than the first time. So here I am running for President of the United States. There are only going to be 3 candidates on the ballot in all 50 states. I'm one of them. Barack Obama and Mitt Romney are the other 2. Now currently I'm on the ballot in 47 states and the District of Columbia. We're litigated in the other 3 states. It's really difficult to get on the ballot in all 50 states. But we think we're going to prevail. So there are other third-party candidates, but significant is the fact that I think in second place is the Green Party that will be on the ballot in about 30 states. So I just want to put this into perspective. Now, over the last year, there have been a couple of polls and one study that I think are very significant. One was the favorability of all the presidential candidates in their own states. There's only one presidential candidate that's viewed favorably in his or her own state, and that was me. Now, how does that work out in New Mexico? In New Mexico, people wave at me with all 5 fingers, not just one. How does that work?